Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Prime TV Update on Wednesday, where we look at some of the topics making headlines and is it buzzing or is it going viral as it were, from last week Wednesday to this Wednesday. And we want to look at the topic, the presidential, the political party's bill and the president's, is it faux pas or gaps in as what happened in South Africa, where the president ordered or summoned opposition leaders from that country to discuss what is happening in this country when he cannot meet his own colleagues here as a party president. So that's one of the topics we'll be looking at, and we'll also look at the PF chasing Chishimba Kambwili, I think, making a further application. So we'll also be looking at Tayari's Nore. Mr. Precious is also here, and we'll be looking at his detention, a brief detention for the something hours detention. So that is what we'll look at this week, and I have, as I mentioned, Mr. Precious, New Labour Party. Afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kaseva. Good afternoon, viewers.
This is Chirufya Tayari.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for inviting me here. It's nice to be with these gentlemen here.
Yeah, McDonald Chipenzi, I think he's got a new name called Gears.
Thank you so much, and I'm grateful to have to be amidst the president. And maybe Amos Chando tomorrow.
Yeah,
well, most probably you could be the vice president.
I can see Tayari is already in a presidential pose of HH, of folding hands.
No. I mean, come on. HH and myself, we are too far, we're in two worlds apart.
McDonald is in the presidential pose of Edgar Lungu looking down. That's how Edgar Lungu became president. He kept looking down.
No,
HH keeps folding his hands and tying up edges. So yeah, it may not be too far from it.
No. I mean, for us, it's touch and go. 2021, we are in power.
So let's hit on the one, your touch and go. I think there's a bill coming up, and the political party's bill.
Yes, exactly.
Which I think with McDonald we've been chatting. One of the issues that the UNIP one-party state did, or it should have actually just been called one-party state, not UNIP one-party state. Because when there was no other party, it just became the party. Now what they did was that as soon as they amended the constitution, they added the UNIP constitution to the Republican constitution, so that you could not have a one-party or a UNIP act. So when we went at the repeal of Article 4, when we went into multi-party, we needed to have immediately a multi-party act. Now this is what we are having about 26 years later, and you are involved. So just maybe update us on where we are.
No, actually, I'm actually coming from there. I came rushing, respecting, I mean, your invitation. Yes, indeed, your sermon. At least me, I have come. I'm not as like my money and Malema. Me,
I gave conditions. We'll come back to it.
So anyway, the bill is out. You know, the draft bill is out, and government intends to present this bill by next month. And you know, Parliament is opening on the 15th of September, and they are saying they want to present it immediately. So Zambia Center for Interparty Dialogue was given, has been trying to do some consultative meeting, you know, on the draft, and government gave them to say up to Friday you should finish. And well, somehow there is a consensus now that we need a little bit more time.
So why the urgency? That's the
well.
Or why the rush? It's not even urgency.
Yeah, exactly. That is a little bit strange. You know, we have got so many other bills, by the way.
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
in as much as I'm very happy with this bill, but let's face it, we have got so many other bills which have been shelved. They are gathering dust in ministers' offices, and they haven't come. One of the bills, for example, which we have been singing over and over, is the information bill. It has not been, it has not been tabled. But this one, it's like guns on, you know, the stakeholders that bring it to finish it and bring it to Parliament. So I'm just coming from there, and a number of political parties are there, and we have been deliberating, looking into, you know, some of the gray areas, because like always, the initial draft which was presented to government and what has come back is very different. There are a number of things which are very different.
It will be more different from the Act.
That is our prayer, that we are not wasting time being there.
But the pattern is created, Chief Etayari. Well, that is what happened with
the only difference with you and with me and you, Kaseva, is that me, I'm usually optimistic. Though, of course, at the end of the day, sometimes I'm let down, just like I've been let down by the PF. But in any case, I won't lose my faith.
Which is the same thing. There's also another process. You'll come back to it, I think. The Public Order Act process. They have been consulting, and they have been going against what they are consulting. They are not in the spirit of give and take. They are in the spirit of take and take. That the Public Order Act is there to disadvantage opposition parties, and that is what it has been under the PF from 2011.
I had a chance of discussing that matter as well. I mean, from the government point of view, they are actually saying, I mean, we, the opposition political parties, have not brought out forward, I mean, our issues. So they are saying that you are the ones who are delaying us.
Do you have to bring out what is right? Just like, do I congratulate you for doing your job? I mean, what,
you know,
I want you to start from South Africa. We have had these issues of image, and you opposition parties, you have been the one tarnishing the image of this country. You have been calling for sanctions and...
Kaseva, last week on this program, you are the one who was trying to stop me from saying, you know, what I said, that we need 2 inquiries in this country. The first inquiry is on the mental state of the president, of Edgar Lungu. You see, there are so many gaps, you know, because we can't be, you know, running from one scandal to another. Look at this scenario. You go to a foreign country, you go and summon opposition political party leaders without following the diplomatic channel. There's something wrong with you, because then you don't understand. You say that you don't understand, or you're in a mode where you feel now you're burdened to himself.
You deport this person, and you go to his country.
No, not even about deportation. The first thing is this. There are diplomatic channels. If Zuma wants to come and speak to me in Zambia, he has to go through the Minister of Foreign Affairs. The Minister of Foreign Affairs will come to me, okay, to make the arrangements to meet Jacob Zuma. Okay, that is what is established as diplomatic etiquette. Now, in this case, Edgar Lungu flies to South Africa, orders the Musi Maimane and the Malema to meet him at a hotel.
I'm laughing at the way.
There's something wrong.
But ordinarily, it's not a diplomatic word. There's someone word. But for me, what also touches me is where the president says he wants to have a frank talk.
Yeah, frank talk. But first, you set the agenda through the diplomatic channels, because you cannot go into a foreign country and begin to summon citizens of that country without the knowledge of government.
Okay, this is a country. This is our country for, is it medical tourism or hospital? And you are saying we need an inquiry here when the president is already there. We go to consult.
We need
Sangoma. Okay,
I think, I mean, we are talking to the public, and I think it is good that you know, we speak facts as they are. And believe you me, I've had time to talk to a number of people relating to what happened in South Africa. I mean, there is nothing. The president did follow those etiquettes that my brother is talking about. The meetings was properly arranged. Properly, all the protocols were followed. And those Musi Maimane and Malema did even agree to meet the president. Unfortunately, some overzealous reporter within the PF is the one that wrote now, trying to exhort the president to say the president has summoned. It wasn't a summon. It was something that was done properly. And those people even acknowledged that they were meeting. But what infuriated the two is when they reported to say...
So for me, should the president be meeting Maimane and and Malema? That is my question. And not Tayari and Swale.
Well, I think for me, I agree with him. It was okay for him because they wanted to protest. They wanted to protest, and
which they did.
Yes, they did. And the president said, "Let me meet them so that they can express their grievances." Of course, I do agree with you, Kaseva, that he should also be meeting us. That's for sure. That is the point taken.
The point we are missing, Tayari, is that this is a different country. This is a democratic country where protesting, you can't meet all the picketers. Whoever lifts a
but at least those that you know you can
no,
meet
you can't.
No, you can. Why not?
Well,
why not?
That is just another way of explaining.
Why not?
Let's have McDonald come through as an NGO. I think it's now called Gears. You can explain a bit on that as you. We have used you as an electoral expert. Now we are not.
You can. Everything, yeah. Well, I mean, first and foremost, that time I was just coming out of South Africa, and there was also a SADC, that is People's Forum Summit, that is called SASTIA. There are resolutions that the People's Forum should go to Pretoria, because we are meeting in Johannesburg, to go to Pretoria and present our grievances about the way SADC is managing the affairs, the political affairs of this country, of this region. And indeed, I think by the time I was coming here, the group was already in Pretoria. But the issue here is that...
can you highlight something out of...
Yeah, because the meeting resolved that there are hotspots in the region, and these hotspot countries include Zambia, whose democratic credentials are under threat, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, where the Summit of the People failed. SADC has let the region down, because Kavila's term of tenure ended a long time ago. But they can't even, they're even calling him His Excellency, yet his term has already ended.
So under threat of leadership.
Of course, this was leadership deficiencies.
So it's not local terrorism.
Yeah, no. It's just leadership. The leaders, the SADC leaders, are the ones who are threatening the democratic dispensation of this region, not anybody else. So those were the highlights.
You've left out Lesotho.
There was Lesotho, Swaziland, Angola, and Mozambique. So there are about 7 hotspots, regions, countries in this region. Then the issue of the my money and whatever. What I saw, because on the WhatsApps and so on and so on, there was a statement that was issued by the High Commissioner from South Africa. I think that was Emmanuel Mwamba, where that statement, that phrase of summoning, was also incorporated.
Mwamba actually is refusing that.
So who did that?
Yeah, that's the question. Mwamba has refused to say, I didn't issue that statement.
But we cannot argue about these things.
Now, the issue is...
There's a mistake. There's something wrong. That's what Mr. Swale is bringing up. So if you cease to see anything wrong with wrong...
No, come on.
No, I'm not different. I'm not saying you.
Wrong.
I'm not saying necessarily you.
And its representation, they are different.
No, but the point is that Mr. Swale has taken us to the diplomatic channels, and we are operating at another level.
The diplomat...
No, you are not part of the diplomatic circle.
No, but I know the information. No. Why are you not saying he's also... What about him? Is he part of it?
No. The point is...
If he can talk about it, I also have to talk about...
What he has brought up...
Listen, Kaseva. For me, you need to speak the facts. I am against President Edgar Lungu, but I want to criticize him on the facts, not to say things which he hasn't done. No, it's not right.
I don't want you to answer him, just like he has not answered.
No, but we are speaking to the people. If he has said
he is also speaking for himself.
No.
That's why there's a
what we are saying
let
here...
Let McDonald finish his point.
Yes, but Kaseva, I mean, come on, we need to be fair. We need to be fair, and the truth must always stand.
Kaseva.
Yeah,
the biggest problem that we have here
is that
first and foremost, the PF administration of Edgar Lungu is not embarrassed by all these things that are happening. But they are happy that they they are happy that citizens are embarrassed on their behalf. Now, if you cannot have shame on yourself and you expect people to have shame on your behalf, there's something wrong with you.
That is, I am in agreement with that. To really want to over-explain that, when Edgar Lungu cannot allow Jacob Zuma to visit HH, Edgar Lungu had to be reconciled with Obasanjo to go to visit
Did Edgar Lungu refuse to Jacob to visit
okay,
HH?
did Edgar Lungu visit HH in prison?
No, he didn't, but did.
Okay.
Did the president refuse Jacob Zuma to visit HH? Let's speak facts. For me, I want facts.
Okay. Did Edgar Lungu want to meet Maimane and Malema?
Where? Here.
In South Africa. No, here he didn't want. He deported Maimane.
Yes, he didn't want. But in South Africa,
so
he wanted.
Deported. So
yes.
what does that? How do you reconcile that?
Well,
he deports someone and he calls him for a frank talk at a hotel. What's wrong with that? How do you reconcile that?
What's wrong with that?
McDonald,
You chase me from your house.
And
Then you come to my house
yes.
and say, let's meet in your sitting room.
Yes, and maybe I want to say sorry.
No, there's something wrong with you.
No, but I want to say sorry. Maybe I want to say
The
sorry.
channels are there. I wanted you to deal
No,
with
but I mean, what is good is good.
I wanted you to deal with
what is good is good. What is wrong is wrong. And that's where I stand. It doesn't matter who is involved.
Yeah, I wanted you to deal more with the issue of the political party bill.
But I can't sit here and facts be misrepresented. It's not fair.
You don't own facts, Tayari.
Reality is reality, like
you
yourself.
You are over-assuming
no.
facts.
It's a fact.
We are debating here.
Like we have had this. You are holding a newspaper. It's a fact. It's not me holding it. It's a fact. You are holding a newspaper. And it's a fact that Edgar Lungu...
Let's have... it's also a fact that you are over-dominating here. McDonald is not...
I will over-dominate if you are going to speak the truth.
Let the facts speak for themselves. You can't...
So the issue here is that when you look at what happened, there's a statement which I think was not refuted.
I can also bring in the newspapers to put it in perspective.
Which was not refuted from the government records. Even the Minister of Home Affairs, I think the Minister of Foreign Affairs, never refuted the statement that was attributed to Emmanuel Mama.
Absolutely.
But he never committed to anything again.
Of course, yeah, but if it was not true,
okay.
that
I think we'll factor in this story, Mr. Swale, we'll factor in this story as well. There's also the story of Chimba Kambuli, and then there's also the story of digital migration. This is the mast is still on this story. This is these are the facts according to the mast. I think Chirufya Tayari wants us to be arguing at the point of what our claims being fact.
Yes.
McDonald, speak facts.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say that if truly the statement that was issued by Emmanuel was not true, the ministry and the minister, who is diplomat number one, would have issued say no, that was not true. There was no statement that came from the what? From the High Commission. Yes. I
want to factor in this for you, Tayari. This is
the truth is dead.
Yeah, the alternative.
Still alive to me.
These are the alternative people who give the alternative truth or fact.
The truth is still alive to me.
To me, is the whole thing. I think the High Commission in Pretoria didn't perhaps handle that thing properly.
Absolutely,
they didn't handle it properly. So there was a better way to do.
Now coming to Mr. Swale is not being diplomatic about handle it properly. He's saying there is madness here.
Well,
there's something
totally
wrong. Chirufya Tayari wants to justify and clean it up and do some.
So the whole thing there.
Maybe
and again, people
the sangoma for the kids.
The people must understand that.
If I'm the sangoma, which one? Then you must be the witch of the nation.
Which one is the sangoma?
The issue here is that the opposition, the two opposition leaders in South Africa are very aggressive, and you have to handle them with care. Unlike here, where you want to be diplomatic, you can arrest and everything is quiet. There is something else. Even the people themselves, even where we gathered, you could see South Africans militantly, agitating that we go to Pretoria, walking from Johannesburg to Pretoria, so that we tell these Zuma and Mugabe and Kabila and President Lungu that they are bringing the region down.
I want you to factor in the issue of demonstration as a right in South Africa.
Yes, of course. For them,
which is not
right.
here.
It's a right. Even here is a right. It's there in our constitution. But the problem is us, the citizens, who have surrendered our rights to the state. Okay? It's there. It's a constitutional right. You have the right to demonstrate. You have the right to protest. You have the right to assemble and associate and so on and so forth. in South Africa, that's why I'm saying, even with all the weaknesses of Jacob Zuma, there's one beauty of him, he's a Democrat.
Yeah.
But here, where we have a constitution, where we call them ourselves Democrats,
and our
look at
president, a lawyer.
a lawyer
Yeah.
who understands and sometimes misinterprets the constitution.
And
You
put
know.
lacunas as amendments. And you want, because I want to take you back. This is the week of Mwanawasa's death. Mwanawasa went to Egypt, and on the agenda was Zimbabwe. And today we have a president who was going to salvage the Titanic. I think that is, and he had a summit here where he did what had never been done before and what has not been done ever since, of calling opposition into a SADC summit. Now we have a situation, the reversal of where our president goes to meet opposition in another country, and it comes out with what he's saying is an endorsement, again, from SADC, as he did from the AU. They are still endorsing the elections, and he gets an election to sit on the Troika, and...
Yeah, you know, the level of deceit with the PF administration is what is causing all these problems. You know, the past 7 years of PF, 6 years of PF, what has happened in this country is very, very unfortunate in that we've not debated the future of Zambia.
But can you substantiate the deceit before Tayari interjects?
Now, the deceit is such that they will say one thing and do the opposite.
Which is hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy.
Yes.
Now, that also has a background.
I agree with him.
The background to this deceit can be
Yeah, I
found.
agree with you.
It can be found in this book.
Oh, wait.
Okay? Anton Mukwita, in writing this book, he puts across the history and the literature about one man, Edgar Chagwalungu. But it differs from the facts on the ground. Since Tayali wants the facts. Okay? A good example in this book, it talks about Esther Lungu. Okay? Anton Mukwita talks about Esther Lungu as having been a secretary. Okay? Now, she has not told us where she worked as a secretary. But for all what we know is that she was a maid in Dorothy Machanda's house.
Who is Dorothy?
The mother to Tasila. So, I don't know whether Dorothy Machanda...
How does that relate?
No, look. Here, they are exhorting her that she was a secretary, that she's been married to Edgar Chagwalungu for the past 35 years. Now, it's this kind of literature and history, which has been peddled from independence to the, to the citizens. And with such lies and deceit, you can't develop, because the history and the literature are distorted.
Okay,
now
you're bringing in the argument of Mike Mlongoti of being born at Ndora Central Store. You say from birth he has been a liar. He
yes,
Bethel, you come to marriage, now we are...
It's fraud throughout. Okay? There is the issue, here is the issue of having been married to Esther Lungu for 35 years. But there's no mention of Dorothy Machanda, the mother to Tasila. This book says,
to Mlongoti.
The cousin to Mlongoti. Okay? This book does not mention that Tasila is the daughter to Dorothy Machanda, who Edgar married in Mtendere. But it talks of having married.
So there's no story of Mtendere here.
There's no story of Mtendere.
There's no Mtendere. There is no Kabushi.
There's no Kabushi. There's Chimwemwe. Meanwhile, is Chagwa, who grew up in Chimwemwe, went to Ishuko. Later,
there's no Ishuko in that book.
There's no Ishuko in this book. Chimwemwe A. From Chimwemwe A, Mukuba, National Service, University of Zambia, Ziale, what is this?
The marriage is very early in the real story. This version, the marriage is a bit late.
The marriage here is late. Okay? It talks of, is it 35 or 6 years ago that they married? But Esther at that time was married to a Mr. Ngoma,
Then
the father to her children.
Then there's also the story of the other Lungu being
The 5 children.
being a magistrate. There's no magistrate.
No, there's no magistrate in here. So, last week I told you, that's the reason why I said we need 2 inquiries. The mental state, as well as the true identity.
You are confusing me.
No, I mean,
you're
the
putting
personality.
me into a mental state.
No, of course, I'm talking about 2 personalities. This book is trying to bridge the 2 personalities. Okay? Because Chagwa is from Kitwe. Mutawale is from Ndola, who is between Kabushi and Lubombo in Mazabuka. Okay? So, not until it is established.
So this is what are they calling it in South Africa? State capture?
State capture?
Yeah.
Yes. But here, would you call it state capture?
it's a tail wagging the dog.
It's fraud. Yes.
Okay.
It's fraud capture. Because
yeah, because you are saying, I mean, for example, what you are saying of these personalities is the same thing that HH will also claim, that this guy is ruling on my behalf, as you are trying to say that there are
two different things.
No,
First and foremost, I have been saying on this forum and many other forums that in 2016 there was no election and no one was elected in 2016. And I have my day in court. I'm filing in court documents to show you that no election took place in 2016. And there was no one was elected.
You are easily overtaken by time, Mr. Swara. You have made a very good point on the Balosi Agreement, of where the Balosi Agreement predates the Constitution, and then is supposed to derive power from the Constitution, yet it is about 6 months older than the same Constitution to give it power, which is the same argument you are saying. The elections were held when the legislation that is supposed to give the elections power, that is your argument.
Of course.
The legislation to give the elections power came after.
Did not exist. In the last election, there were no candidates. So Edgar Chagwalungu was not a candidate. Inonge Wina was not a candidate. Hagainde Ichilema was not. All these members, we are calling members of parliament, they were not candidates.
Okay, you can nail the point. I think that is very important.
So, yes, very.
Yeah, just put the dates to what you are arguing. I think that's...
First and foremost, you must realize that the nominations for the presidential election it took place between the 27th May and 3rd June 2016. Now, the Electoral Process Act came into effect on 6th June. So where did they get the nomination forms? Because it's the Electoral Act that alludes to the nomination forms, but it does not give you the actual nomination form. What gives you the actual nomination form is the Electoral Code of Conduct regulations. Okay? The form, the nomination form, it also gives you the ballot, you know, the safeguards.
The Electoral Code of Conduct, yes,
okay? Now, listen to me. The Electoral Code of Conduct regulations came into effect on 12th August 2016, the day after voting.
Yeah, so McDonald,
where did you get the ballot papers?
McDonald, can you...
Well,
Mr. Suarez is claiming that he's claiming that we're a mad nation because we are...
You're a mad nation. You're completely mad.
The issue of presidential election is basically handled by the Constitution. Okay? And the regulations, there's the presidential election regulations, which are separate from the parliamentary regulations and local government regulations. There's a book called general regulations. That is what I don't know when they came into effect. The code of conduct.
This is what is
the code of conduct is different from the general regulations of election. Now, the issue that we have to establish is that what happens to the regulations that existed at the time when the amended constitution, you know, was assented to. Because what I understand is that that constitution we have.
Okay, you are
Just let me finish
you are
that
making
point.
an odd
Yes,
argument.
let me
Mr.
finish.
Swale,
No.
on this one is ahead of
No,
you.
let me make a
yeah, you can make your point.
The
but I'm
issue
just
that
letting you
the
to
regulations are an amendment. Like in this case, what was to be amended was the election clause, the regulation clause, that there is now a running mate.
Okay, Mr.
And
Swale,
also
Mr. Swale has a
now-
court case
now-
which is
now-
coming up. He has a court
listen,
case that has been
McDonald,
So maybe we make it for next week, we discuss it.
Yeah, no, it's
McDonald-
actually a court case. I just wanted him to confirm that.
McDonald, first and foremost, the old Electoral Act did not have a provision for a vice president, a running mate.
It didn't even talk about the
Running mate. So now, if it did not have, and the new one came into effect after nomination.
No, the Electoral Act,
So,
the Electoral Act itself does not talk about.
No,
That is the point. Now, he's
No,
not-
but
the
I
question-
think we have to appreciate this. The Electoral Act does not talk about the presidential election. Electoral Act. But the Constitution talks about the election. Then, from the Constitution,
Which
you
came on
derive the regulations, which are not part of the Electoral Act.
No. And this is why
The
we're
whole
making-
election,
No,
don't judge the
McDonald,
candidates. I think that's why you're missing each other. He is dealing with the elections generally.
McDonald,
Okay.
McDonald,
That's-
No, I
and this
agree
is
with
why-
the principle. I
Yeah.
agree with the principle.
McDonald, and this is the reason why we've gone wrong in this country, because we've accepted so much rubbish. Okay? We've accepted so much madness to an extent where we now even
We have
find.
also become mad.
Of course, we've also become mad. The
Okay,
issue
now
here.
Is that word
You're not
parliamentary?
using, you're not,
Yeah.
not
Now,
using dynamo.
The issue here is that the Constitution is directive, okay, and itself is stagnant. Now, the operation of the Constitution is in the subordinate acts, okay, these legislations. Now, it's these legislations that give birth the effect of the Constitution. Now, if this act is not there, the Constitution cannot move because it's static. We have a static Constitution in this country. So when you talk about those general regulations, yes, the general regulations, they can, if they are attached to the Constitution,
Okay.
it means they are as static as the Constitution.
I
For
want us
them
to
to move,
Yeah.
you need subsidiary legislation,
I
which
want
is the
us-
Electoral Process Act.
Yes, which also goes back.
Now, the Electoral
which-
Process Act is
Mr.
the one
Swale,
that gives you the Electoral Code of Conduct. Now, the Electoral Code of Conduct gives you how you're going to conduct the
You're
election.
doing election
No, it's
education.
about
to the
management.
Let's get
Of course,
to-
management.
No,
So how did you
I want
manage
The
us-
conduct
let's-
of the political party.
let's-
No.
The electoral code of conduct is
No.
about.
No, I think we'll get back to that. I think we'll get back to that.
It's the whole election
I
process, the whole
want
election
Dr.
process.
Tayari. Can I have Dr. Tayari come back on the issue of
But
the
remember also the
political
repeal
party bill?
or the amendment of the Electoral Process Act came at the point. The old,
I think
the old
I think
became
McDonald-
ineffective
McDonald-
after the
You
appeal.
cannot
Is
debate
it the
Mr.
amendment?
Swale on that. I think I can give you a
No,
full document. I'll give you his full document. I have a copy of
Okay, I can look at
the
it.
court paper.
Yeah.
I want to take Chief Tayari back to this the political party bill.
I thought you were going to talk about insults, but anyway.
Okay, go back. You can go back.
Yeah,
this is also
Keith Mwemba has just secured another acquittal for that man from Chawama, yes, he called a certain name.
We have to be fact.
Yeah, as reported in the court. So that man has been acquitted today, and from my point of view, I was just saying, you know, it reminded me of what you're talking about, to say we need to fight to remove this, you know, the law of insults. You know, we need to get rid of them. Indeed, it confirmed what you are saying. But apart from that, it adds up to the campaign that I have of Kanganja must go. Because look, we have so many knowledge, and then we have so many acquittals. Honestly, what are we doing? People might think that I'm taking this personal, but think of it. I mean, he was arrested, and even this man was arrested, you know, the one that has been acquitted.
This one has a very huge landmark case, which he has never followed. On the same
Xavier
police.
was arrested for 8 days.
Yes, Xavier was arrested and so on and so forth. So, but really, Mukwita'S acquitted, and we have Siandenge. I'm really crying for Siandenge because Siandenge is a citizen of this country, and he has been criminalized. 100,000 put on his head.
Yes, a bounty. Yeah.
They have been
500,000.
500? Really?
No, but Chilufya, let me still have
Look at
I want
the 1 minute.
yeah, no.
This Kanganja is failing to deal with a case of bigamy. Because Esther Lungu has been married to 2 men. Edgar Lungu and Mr. Ngoma of that compound.
Okay? Yeah.
Not until she can produce.
Maybe you can go and complain.
Of course, we have.
Yeah, I think that is the process. But I want I don't want us to make.
He's supposed to be dealing with these criminal cases like bigamy.
I want Chilufya to come in on the issue of fame and infame, or it's infame. The issue has been corruption is more about the whistleblower. You had an issue with Given Luvinda where it turned up to you.
I'm now in court.
Which is the same situation as McDonald. He whistleblew that the police were employing each other by cell phone, which is the same thing he said that the PF were responsible for the market through the police or through the party. He was arrested for that. He is now. The issue of defamation of the so-called defamer is something that I don't know if you. I
get your point.
You have suffered.
Yes, I've been defamed in reverse.
Yes.
I mean, he accused me that I defamed him, and he defamed me. Now, my defamation still stands because it has entered in a knowledge. I've not been cleaned. And he himself,
the defamer,
the one who is alleged that I defamed him first, I mean, he's not defamed.
HH was insulted, and then they turned it around that insulted them.
Exactly.
They have tortured people, and they've put it that they blocked the.
And you see, Kaseba. These are the real issues. These are facts. These are facts. We have a man in the office of the IG, very incompetent, very inefficient. People being arrested. Right now as we are talking, there are so many people, poor people. I always say that we are lucky ourselves who are covered by you, the media. But we have so many poor people who are in the
We are also lucky as the media not to be closed. Because the issue is that criticism and opposition are insults. That is the issue of. For example, you were dealing with Kanganja as a person.
Yes.
But they put you under criminal defamation that it went to the DPP to enter a nole when you were dealing with a person
individual. This individual I'm talking about who is inefficient, who is incompetent. I mean, I don't know where the state came in. How did the state come in?
Which is the reason?
It's supposed to be Mukwita'S versus Kanganja.
Exactly.
Now it was Mukwita'S versus the people. Did I defame you people? So why was it with the people?
The same way Kanganja will not take the uniform to court. He can stand in court with a uniform.
You see, this is the issue which I think we need as him and I think all of us, the church, against the people and myself. You know, I think we need to change that. Because it's being abused.
Yes.
Because how can I, I was speaking on
you are speaking for the people.
And then the people say you defame that. How?
We are speaking for people.
We need to change that kind of thinking.
And this abuse.
I think we should
and
this
abuse.
And this how to break up knowledge.
Of course. Now this abuse has been exacerbated in the last 6 years.
Of course.
Okay. In the last 6 years, our rights as citizens have been stolen by this criminal PFO. Criminal PFO. Okay. Now, that's why I've always said that criminality has entered the State House. And because of this criminality...
You will go back, Mr.
No, look, it's a truth. Because there's no way that people's rights can be stolen and we are quiet. It's only criminals who steal. Now, those who have stolen our rights are criminals.
Okay, you need to take a mandatory test, Mr. Swale. Maybe, is it a
you mean of China?
HIV.
No, HIV first. Let's bring it up.
Let's deal with the issue of the political party. Before we get
human rights. It's abuse of...
Let's put the callers on standby so that...
you can make a quick one. I think it's very, very important. You know, that bill is being ignited by Article 60. Yeah. Now, what is there in the article, in the whatever, is of concern, and I know why it's being rushed. Okay, and these politicians who are now presidents and whatever.
Why is it rushed in McDonald's?
No, it's they want to
have money.
No, they just want them to tomorrow when it's enacted. They say you were part of it and you agreed. Look, they are saying that you'll be disclosing all your donors, okay, to the board, and that board is consisting of three church mother bodies, and the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Home Affairs. No political parties involved. That's the board that will be registering and the registrar. Okay. Now, where is the interest of the political parties? Because that article is for the political parties. And not for the government, and not for the churches. But they are the same government who say churches should be non-partisan. Now they want to be registered political parties.
Why is this bill is coming from Article 60?
Yes.
Why is the Constitution gives power to the bill, thereby the Act, now, which is now delegating the power outside itself, which is the argument you're making. Why aren't we strengthening the Act itself? Yes, to have power to regulate political parties, as opposed to bringing in a board that is going to be the boards that are regulating, for example, churches and other. Now that is the crookedness.
So the rush is they want to do like the way they did with the Constitution. It will go with those lacunas. I'm telling you, especially if they will provide the allowances, good allowances, they will not be talking.
Let's share them.
Okay. Well, no, I'm saying assuming. So people will be dozing there, not even seeing. What's the volume?
From our party, there is transparency, and we want to be as transparent as possible. There is, I think, I haven't gotten it, but what I hear is that they think there should be 100 kwacha or 150 transport allowance. And yes, all the participants have been lodged in there. But ourselves, we were somehow put in the corner, and we have to push our way in. So we are not actually accommodated there. So I don't know about, but that is what it is. There is 100 or 150. I
really want you to, for me in history, there is Leonard Hikaumba, and there is Dean Mungomba, and Manawasa's constitutional reforms. You recall there was a lot of money then.
Yes.
Yeah. So Leonard Hikaumba withdrew. Dean Mungomba withdrew and raised issues. The other constitutional processes had minority reports. McDonald, you recall that, and so on and so forth. These ones, I'm almost using Mr. Suarez's word, but there are no such observations that will give any different position. Yeah, that is what we want to have.
See,
okay,
the danger of having sponsored talks is that most people are weak when it comes to money, and they're able to sell their birthright. Okay, and as long as we are not careful, and as long as we are not ready to protect our birthright.
So, like in this case, who is receiving the money?
It's what McDonald has said. You may not see the money.
You may not see the money.
And the issue of
the organizer.
I think I'm still carrying.
If they see you that you're very critical, you're principled, you will not see the money.
Okay,
because they are going to divulge the public. This is the money.
But
at night, money will move in order to move certain agenda.
Is this how you start voting on articles? You'll be minority who will say, no, this one, no, we need transparency and so.
Let's take it now. I think there's an expression, when money speaks, truth listens. I've just given you this magazine.
When money speaks, truth listens.
Yes. Yeah, quite.
Really?
So that is how truth is dead. So let's take in our callers as we get back to Mr. Swale. The issue of the international image being destroyed by you as opposition, the UPND, the MMD, and the other time the Liberal Party went to South Africa to hold a press conference highlighting the abuses that were here, and then they said, no, they have committed espionage, these are sellouts. That was the argument then. HH, before he went to prison, could not hold a press conference in his own presence.
At his secretariat. He could not hold
Okay.
at his secretariat.
From Kanyama to secretariat and the rally in Kanyama. Yes, sir, your name, your location.
Hello.
Yes, you are through. Your name, your location, and your point. We are looking at the presidential gaps or PA and president. Hello. Yes, your name, your location, and your point. We keep having this thing. I don't know what.
I don't know why you guys like to do knowledge on these phone calls.
Okay, let's try another caller. I think but basically we have the same callers, and how we keep going through the same thing, I also don't. I get to wonder. No, not a prosecutor.
Okay, let's try another caller. I think we have the same callers, and how we keep going through the same thing, I get to wonder. No, not a prosecutor. Okay, let's try another caller.
We have two callers. Hello, you are through. Your name, your location, and your point. Hello? Yeah. Daddy, you have your friends from prison here.
Hello.
Hello, your name, your location, and your point.
I am Mr. Waria calling from Masaiki. I just want to congratulate you, Mr. Kasera. Today you are like a moderator, although you are trying to go back to your old ways of doing things.
Let's get to the topic.
But today, from the look of things, you are trying to emphasize
that you don't discuss
what we call moderating. But
you have gone back to your old ways. Let's get to the topic.
That what you are telling people,
hello?
It is more of just talking about the president.
Okay.
But we want to hear also other people. We know Mr. Suwale, you are a president. Mr. Tawali is also aspiring for some other things. So the most important thing that we want from you people from that media is to give us the best way of doing things so that you help our president. That is our president. As much as we can talk, as much as we can say anything, that is our president. Let us just try to work hard to see to it that he is doing the best.
All right.
For
Thank
us,
you very much,
Mr. Suwale and you, Mr. Tawali, you also benefit. But just
all right. Can we try to get another caller, sir?
To the president so that he can also see where he can reach. You also come and take up from where you left. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, let's try to get another caller. We can try to squeeze you as many as possible. I don't want to criticize back the callers, but we can also keep the habit short and
Hello?
To the topic. Yes, your name, your location, and your point.
Good afternoon, Kaseva.
Afternoon, sir.
Fine. Mr. Suwale, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Bachirufya Mwawombe.
Yep.
McDonald says, Honorable Zawoto, the Honorable Minister of Smart and Touching Affairs.
Good.
Thank you. I've liked the articulation that is there. And I can see some relevance coming from McDonald Chapenzi, where he's trying to maybe outline some of the issues that are on the table. And we are talking about presidential gaps. And as we contribute, let us have the facts on the table. Starting from our first president to the current president. What are their shortcomings? Where have they succeeded? Instead of us going into personal attacks. I have seen Mr. Suwale is not making any relevance because he has gone personal. From the first president up to the current president that we have, on the personal things, how many of you attacked? So if you want to contribute and have some relevance, don't go into those details. There is my brother Tayari there. I cannot go into details where he had a case in court. Now, if tomorrow he becomes the president and we write a book about him on the successes, are you just going to be finding the faults in him, personal things that he has? That's why I've said, Mr. Suwale, you're not making any relevance because you are only attacking the president. On the successes and shortcomings, yes, there are challenges here and there, of which you three people who are there are the people who are supposed even to give advice to the current president.
All right, can we try to get another caller?
That's the problem with Kaseva. That's why the previous caller said you are now going to your own way.
Let's get another caller.
Yeah, because you don't like the facts. That's the problem.
Getting another caller is liking a fact. Let's try to. You see, the issue of not wanting to share time. We are working within time. Let's try to get another. You see, I'm now being wound out as well. Let's try to squeeze in a last caller. I just want to. Can controls allow me to get? We don't need to speak about controls. Can I allow me to get one caller? Hello. Hello. Hello, last caller.
Hello?
Yes, your name, your location, and your point.
Hello?
Just keep it brief, your name, your location, and your point.
Hello?
That is the problem with callers. I'm joking. Okay, please proceed, your name, your location, and your point. Yeah, okay, let's try to get that. Yeah, no. Yeah? Hello? Okay. Yeah, just be quick to make your point.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Sometimes the discussion can be so heated. Yeah, you can proceed.
Hello?
Quickly, your name, your location, and your point.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir. Okay, let's just wind it up. I think. Hello, you are through. You can proceed. Okay, let's start. McDonald, your final remarks. We are looking at the presidential gaffes and is it FOPA and what is the political party bill?
Well, I think the biggest challenge that we have with presidential gaffes are the issue of aids becoming so political rather than professional. If you see statements that are coming both from State House and also from some of the embassies or commission, you see that these are political statements rather than, diplomatic.
There's also PF coming in.
Yeah, and because they are, putting these people who are, politically charged to say, no, you are the High Commissioner, you are the press aide, you are the what. So that challenges the way they handle things.
And PF has been issuing statements.
Of course, on behalf of whatever, from the commission and so on and so on. So that kind of, I think the issue of the High Commissioner is just like a PS. You are supposed to be all-encompassing. If like in South Africa, you have PF group, you have UPND group, you have EEF group, you have national EEP group. So all those can be met as a commission. You can meet them, not where you facilitate the other group and the others are not. No, that is wrong. To me, that is where we have.
So the intolerance has been exported.
It has been exported actually
globally.
Globally, there is. Yeah. Now coming to the issue of political, I want to urge political parties because there is a tendency by political parties, to relax on these matters. Even the 2016 general election, it's because of relaxation. They never took part. They never took keen interest in the appointment of judges at the Constitutional Court. They never took part, that interest in the constitutional making processes. The voter registration, the acts themselves, like the Electoral Process Act, there are a lot of lacunas in there. Now there is a bill that is targeted at them. We are shifting from the gesture of society to this. And that's the way we fought the NGO Act. And if they are not careful, they will fall in the same trap. And I want just to appeal to them. As they are gathering at Mika Hotel there, let them know what is the aim of their gathering and what are the forces behind their gathering. Then they will be able to do the correct thing.
Well, I think, let me just say, I take the advice of my brother Chipenzi, and I can assure you that tomorrow morning, when we start, I will repeat what he has just said, that we need to be very, very careful to caution all the political players. But I want to emphasize this point that I agree with you, Kaseva. We need to do away with these insulting laws and whatever. They are really archaic. And the judgment of today has actually pointed to that. And of course, it is adding on to the evidence of this IG who is inefficient, who is incompetent. We can't go on like this. Kakoma Kanganja must resign. If he can't resign, let President Edgar Lungu, in the interest of the Zambian people, fire that man. We can't go on like this. We need a professional police. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking for. A professional police. I don't want to fear a police. Now, if you see a police officer, you are scared.
You can still sue for your detention and not for the detention is not covered by the Nole, for example.
Yes.
That is the Kanganja by himself.
There
are so many aspects for which you can sue and claim damages.
Absolutely.
And that
we are discussing that with our lawyers. We are looking at that with our lawyers, but we are more interested in the poor people who are incarcerated right at the moment. They can't be knowledge because the police are inefficient, because the police don't have a leader that is superintending upon them.
The issue of having an investigation over your knowledge, then this can be reopened. Your knowledge is irregular, is illegal. You cannot have Kanganja. It's not a state. That is the first thing. He needs to be addressed of that stateship of being IG in court. You are dealing with Kanganja, the Nshima eating flat-footed person.
You're right, flat-footed.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, I'll start with Joshua Tayari.
No, it's not an insult. I think it's a description.
What and your lawyers must do is that
now I want you to get
to remove the corporate veil. First, go and remove the corporate veil from Kanganja, and so that it remains an individual.
No, which happened? Which happened? I want you to make your which happened by Kanganja being in court. And I think there were those clarifications. Kanganja could not wear his uniform in court. Okay, so he was Kanganja, as he was born from his mother. So this confusion of IG and Kanganja, that is not this. That
what
is
happened. What is his first name?
Kakoma Kanganja.
And what does it mean in laws? What does Kakoma mean in laws?
Kakoma Kanganja means the coup floater.
Okay,
you suffer. So we put him back to his name.
The coup floater.
Yeah, I want
must
you to
go.
finish.
Yes, I agree with you.
Hey.
Kanganja must go. But at the same time, we must all recognize that Kanganja stopped being professional because the appointing authority is not professional.
Okay.
Edgar Lungu as a person has failed to be professional as a lawyer. So even his appointments throughout the State House and the entire government system, they're not professional.
Okay.
And hence these problems that we have.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Swade. I think I want to protect you by saying what you are arguing with, which is the same situation with Mike Mwangoti and many of us, Tayari. The argument are arising from this book. And a lot of people that are defending Edgar Lungu are not using this book as a resource. Let's read this book and argue from this book, even for the person who is... you cannot have a book that is just going to give praises. The one fact, Shilufia Tayari, is that Edgar Lungu was debarred for stealing. So we cannot omit that and want to tell us that he's going to change the law when he has been found guilty. So the gaps that he has made as he is himself subtracting Zambia, was the chair for SADC, is a founder member. Today Zambia is a case in under SADC that they are deliberating, discussing the fall of Zambia from grace. That is what we are today as Zambia, the founder of frontline states, and South Africa, which we isolated, is the one that is. So that is part of what we needed to discuss. Chukatari covered the political party bill, and that is the discussion for today. We'll see you next week as we get to bring other topics. Thank you very much.